My boyfriend, who's in the same house as me, just FaceTimed me asking me what I was doing because I was clapping.
Come
Can you
here.
leave me alone?
Can you say I are low?
I love you. No, bye.
Hi.
Charlie, please stop calling me. I'm trying to export a video.
Sits. Can you come? Hi guys. Thanks for coming today. I forgot my phone. I'll be back.
Oh. The level of professionalism. I can't imagine. I wish I was that professional.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Michaela, and this is Toby, who wishes that I'd open the window so he could do some sun tanning during quarantine. And this is my best friend on the other side of the screen. Introduce yourself.
Hi, it's Brielle from the service Star Cloud. This is Arlo. He is the Star Cloud.
And the floof boy.
I don't know. He's a service dog.
Hi. And we're in quarantine. Arlo, what does that mean?
It means we have to stay the fuck inside.
Yep. You stay inside. And he's gone. Oh. So after I posted my last video, I was like, come on, let's film this video. Come on. And then she goes, no. And so I just got her to agree to it.
I was busy. I'm. If you guys don't know, I have like several videos that I'm editing.
She has a life and I don't.
But I haven't. No, it's not even that. It's just I have several videos that I've been editing that I haven't like put up yet, and I finally finished editing one of the videos today, and I'm exporting it now. Could you stop yawning, please? Thank you.
All right. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is Toby's ass in my face. The first thing we're going to talk about is tell us about the basics of you and your condition. Basically, give us a summary of like who you are and what you deal with.
Okay, so I guess like the biggest condition that I have that kind of summarizes everything else is I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So it's a disorder that messes with several things. Mostly it messes with collagen. So my body does not make enough collagen. So what that means is that my joints are really messed up, they're really weak, and I get a lot of joint pain, and my blood vessels don't have enough collagen in the tissue around them to like contract and open correctly. So I do have like some passing out episodes, stuff like that, and I do have GI issues. We're looking into the possibility of gastroparesis, and then I also quite possibly have mast cell activation syndrome. So that also can, the medications that I'm on for it, lower your immune system. So there's a couple different things that I have that lower my immune system, whether it's the medication that I take or conditions that I already have.
All right. Tell us about the story of what happened when you found out about the coronavirus. How did you feel about school and work?
So,
loaded question.
I go to college, and I do some in-person classes. I am mostly online, but I do some in-person courses, and I did live on campus before this happened. So, when I found out that the coronavirus existed, I didn't think that it was really like a pressing problem for me. I just thought, well, it's not even in my state, so like, what am I worried about? Well, at first it was like, it's not even in our country, then it's like, it's not even in our state, then it's like, it's not even in our county, and then it was in the county, and it was like, okay. I guess the biggest thing that I didn't really think that it was like that big of a deal until they canceled classes. Then I was like, oh no. So they, the first thing they did was they extended spring break. They made it come sooner. So like we got out of class, and it was my last class of the day, and I walked out of class and I got the email saying, hey, you don't have to go to classes for the next couple days, and then there's spring break, and then after that we're doing a few more days off, and then supposedly we were coming back.
Right.
We weren't going to get kicked out of the dorms or anything. Everything was chill, and I was like, okay, because like my home life isn't like fantastic with my service dog and my disabilities, so me going home at that time seemed like not a great idea.
My mouse was up your nose.
Yeah, I didn't want to go home. So my plan was just to stay on campus. and wait it out. Then they told us not to do that. So then I started freaking out. I think at that point I was like, oh no. I guess with work, it was more like my work didn't really take it very seriously, which is weird. I don't usually talk too much about like my work on YouTube, but just like for those of you who don't know, I'm a professional dog trainer, so I do work at a facility that has service dogs and people who are disabled. Several of the trainers are disabled, plus we work with a lot of disabled clients who might have immunodeficiencies or are immunocompromised, including myself and a couple of my coworkers. So it was kind of like a little worrisome to see that corporate was not making us implement any new practices at all. So we were still expected to shake hands with people. We were still expected to allow people to come into the lobby for us to take their dogs. We weren't implementing any new cleaning procedures. We weren't like keeping hand sanitizer anywhere. Me and a couple of my other coworkers, one of the last days that I was at work, got in trouble for washing our hands for too long because we were wasting company time. So that was, to me, that was a little concerning. And like, I guess like, cause my boss is normally pretty chill about this kind of stuff. But I think she was also kind of worried because we were losing a lot of clients. So she didn't want to change anything for fear of losing more clients. So, and then corporate is supposed to meet relatively soon to talk about, like what their plans are. But until then, I worked for like 2 more days after like the quarantine started. And then my doctors were like, no. And they sent a letter to my boss saying that I should not go in anymore until the quarantine is over. So So now I am staying in Indiana with my boyfriend. He goes to college here and he has an apartment, so he wasn't like kicked off of like where he lives or anything. So I'm staying here just because it's a lot simpler for me to stay with somebody who understands my conditions and can like help me take care of them in like a more safe environment for like me and my dog. And I'm leaving here at the end of the month. I'm going back home, but it's just nice to stay here for now. Like when it was like at its peak and like at the top of the curve, we were kind of worried about like me going out and grocery shopping and stuff like that by myself. Just didn't seem like a safe idea. So he is staying with me here, and yeah.
What is it like to be immunocompromised during a pandemic?
So, to be totally honest, Arlo, can you not? To be totally honest, being immunocompromised, like, during, like, regular time is just kind of like you're more conscious of, okay, if somebody's sick, I need to not really, like, hang out with them, and I need to, distance myself. Yes, I do spend a little bit more time with like purchasing things like hand sanitizer and making sure that like I do have a mask with a filter on it that I purchased like before the pandemic started. So that kind of stuff, just you spend more money on that kind of stuff regularly. So for me, I guess the only thing that's really different now is that instead of just wearing my mask when I'm going places that I don't know or I feel might be more dangerous, now it's like I'm wearing it anytime we go out or anytime that we see people. And, my distance is larger. Instead of like 6 feet, I say that I'm putting people like 8 or 9 feet back. I do use hand sanitizer a lot more than usual. We're washing our hands a lot more than usual. It's like any time that we leave the apartment and come back, even if I'm just walking out there to let Arlo out, like even if I'm not even like talking to anyone or near anybody. There's the door handle, so I want to like be careful of that. So I guess I'd say that it's like a little scary. At first it was a little scary because I was like, if I catch this, like I'm done. But then I'm realizing that like that's not even, as it progressed and we knew more about the disease, it's not even like the thought of that being just me. It's like everybody, because even though we're not all immunocompromised, the survival rate is going down. So more and more people are dying from the disorder or from the disease who get it. So, yeah.
What is mental health like during a pandemic?
So I do have a couple mental health conditions. I wouldn't say that they're my most disabling conditions, but they are conditions that I have. I don't know. I mean, I'd say that I've been a little bit affected in the sense that like my dorm is my safe place, and like I feel like safer there. I feel more accepted than like at home or anywhere else. So not having that place has been really stressful. And then also, I'm not very good at, I do well in college when I'm on campus. I do better when I'm on campus because it feels more like a school environment to me. So now that I'm not there, I'm a lot less motivated to work on school things. And I find myself like not really able to focus very easily because like I know I could work on something else. Like I could be screwing around doing nothing. I could sleep in all the time. So it's a lot harder without the structure of work and school.
Yeah, I think to add to that, I think a lot of people with disabilities, especially ones that involve focus and executive functioning, I think it's really hard to be able to tell ourselves, okay, this is the new school.
Right. I don't necessarily struggle with like focus like somebody who has like ADHD would, but I do struggle with like the executive functioning problems. And I get in like these highs and lows of like me doing better with executive functioning and then me doing worse. And I feel like the pandemic has just sort of amplified like how bad that can be and like how bad that dysfunction can affect your life, because there's been a couple days where it's like I missed 6 assignments for like no reason. Like I don't even have any excuse for missing them. Like I was sitting here doing jack shit and I just missed these assignments somehow. So I don't know how that happens. And like I'm hearing the same thing from other people who are also immunocompromised. I have one friend from high school who she and I didn't really talk much in high school, but we bonded over the fact that we both got diagnosed with EDS around the same time. And she had, like, she's in classes and she's normally online. Like, she's normally an online student entirely. She doesn't go to campus, nothing like that. She missed like 12 assignments, and like nothing in her life has changed really, because she doesn't live on campus. She always lives at home. Her family mostly works from home, so not much in her life has changed. But somehow, like, just the emotional state of being in the pandemic, she missed 12 assignments.
Right.
Like, that's crazy. So it's not even just, like, the ability to not go out, because she doesn't really go out much anyway. It's the rest of it as well. So I'd say that's, like, a good statement of the mental health aspect.
Yeah. I also just want to add that, like, you get the emails from the university that's like, oh, we're getting lots of reviews saying that people are doing really well, but keep up the good work. And it's like, have you seen how many late assignments we have? Like, I feel like they're just like, they don't hear the concerns of the disabled people, because I know that I have, and many other students at our college, I don't know if you have too, have complained to our disability center like, hey, we're struggling, because not only do we not know what's going on, but neither do the professors. Like, it's to a point where, like, I'm lucky that I have really good professors, but some of them didn't know how to put their course online.